All right, guys, this is the second video about the human lightning rod. Um, thank you for watching. All right, let's begin. But before we begin, I want to say something, which is, this is what I want you to do. I want you to, um, when you see a word, I don't want you to think about how to spell it or how to read it. I want you to think about, like, just remember what the word is. Try to say, remember the sound of the word. Okay? So forget about how to read it or how to spell it. Just remember the sound of the word. Okay? And then this will give you the opportunity to read it and spell it in the future. All right, the human lightning rod. The first time occurred in 1942 during a storm when Roy was working in the forest. The second, third, and fourth times occurred in 1969, 1970, and 1972. Roy thought the first 4 times that he was struck by lightning were just bad luck, but in 1973, Roy was struck a 5th time. He saw a dark storm cloud coming after him as he tried to outrun it in his pickup. After this time, he began to think it was more than coincidence. He thought there was a supernatural force coming after him. He started to carry a water bottle at all times, in case his hair was set on fire again. Roy became fearful for his life. Okay, so think about how to say happened, occur. How do you say a small truck, pickup? How do you say 巧合, coincidence? Without looking at the word. Don't look at the word and you can say it. 巧合, coincidence, right? Yes. 超自然, supernatural, right? So being able to say the word and then you can spell it later. All right. Let's begin our review. But before we do that, I'll say again, we talked about this before. It's important. What is the difference between for and of, right? In this phrase, okay? To be fearful or become fearful for or become fearful of. They have different meanings. And the when do you use for and when you use of, there's a very easy way to help you. All right. So if the thing that following this phrase is something good, like for example, life, your life, that's a 正面的东西, right? Being alive is a good thing, right? So you're going to say become fearful for your life because your life is a positive. It's a positive thing, right? So you're going to use the word for. If the thing following the phrase is a positive thing, then you use for. But if it's a negative thing, then you use of. For example, 答应就是死亡, or death. Well, that's a bad thing, right? Dying and death is a bad thing. So you're going to say become fearful of death or dying, right? So that is a good way to remember. Remember, is it for or of? If it's positive, you say for. If it's negative, you say for of. Okay. So let's give me another example. Let's say a mother. A mother. Okay. Is or becomes. Okay, and let's say she becomes fearful of or for her baby. Well, now, to the mother, her baby obviously is a 正面的东西, it's a good thing. So she became fearful. She becomes, or she is fearful for her baby, right? In other words, her baby's safety, right? Yes, her baby's safety, 安全 is a good thing to the mother, and therefore she becomes fearful for her baby. Okay, right? Or let's say, let's say, you go to, you drive your car or motorcycle somewhere and you park it in a very dark place, incense, and there's nobody around, and you're like, is somebody going to come and break my car or motorcycle, right? So you say, oh, I am, right? I am, or I become, or I became fearful for, well, your car is a good thing to you, so therefore fearful for my car because it was parked in a dark place, right? So fearful for. But if the negative thing, right? Let's say, perfect example, right now nobody wants to go out. You don't want to go out because you don't want to get COVID-19. COVID-19 is a negative, 负面的东西, right? So I don't want to go out because I am, just forget about become, I am fearful of COVID-19. Okay? Very simple, right? Just think of it that way. 后面的东西, if it's positive, fearful for. If it's negative, fearful of. Good, let's continue. All right. So I'm going to ask you this today, so pay attention and then don't worry about how to spell it because I guarantee you, I have to 强调 this again. I have to emphasize this again. I don't care if you spell it wrong. You shouldn't care either. Okay? The first time you spell something, it is usually wrong. Okay? No one spells something right the first time. All right? But you have to know how to say it. Right? You have to believe me. If you can say it, you can spell it. 你如果会说，你就会拼. Right? That's guaranteed. Okay? And it will not 差太多. All right? And even if it's 对一半 only, that's still right. All right? We want to be positive. Okay? We don't want to be scared. All right? All right, so the first time happened in 1942. What is another way to say happened? Happen? Occur, right? Fine. Let's start spell occur. I don't know, occur, like that. All right, that's obviously wrong. But you spell that way, that's fine. You know what that word spells? You know what this word is? If I showed you this word, this word to anyone who knows English, that person will say occur, which is what we want to say. Right? Another way to ping occur 就是这样子 occur A C U R A K U R 也可以哈 right? I really don't care how you spell it. Okay, so if you spell occur this way, that's great. All right, okay, so first time occur and I need past tense. 重要是 this one. This is the important thing. You have to recognize that this is past tense. So here I have to make it past tense, occurred. All right, now obviously that's the wrong spelling. Okay, you spell like that, and then 再回去 remember. Okay, 不是 the 不是 is not O, it's not A, it's O. The cur is not K, but it's C. In fact, there are two of them. Okay, and UR is correct. UR is correct. And then words like this, 这样子的字 before you add ed, 那个 R 要多加一个。Yeah, there are some things you need to 背起来 okay? Because the 自然发音 will only take you to a certain point. 其他的你要用背的 okay? Right? So the phonics will take you to a certain point, and then the other things you have to kind of remember by yourself. All right, the details. How? So the first time occurred in 1942 during extreme weather, like a typhoon or, you know, any kind of 极端的天气. What do you call that? It's called a storm. Okay, let's try to spell storm. Storm. Well, obviously that's wrong, right? Storm is actually T, not D, right? So you see, if you know how to say storm, you can spell storm. You might be 差一点点, but that's okay. All right. During a storm, when Roy was working in the jungle, in the nature park, in this place, also known as the forest. I don't know why I forgot to erase this. In the forest. Okay. Pretend that you don't know this. And then forest. 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 Okay? Forest. Perfect. All right. So you have to know how to say it. If you can't say it, 你拼不出来. Oh, the second time, third, and fourth times occurred in 1969, 70, and 72. And then, but in 1973, Roy was struck a fifth time. He saw a dark storm cloud chasing, following, coming after him. This one I think everybody can spell. Coming after him as he tried to run faster than it. As he tried to what? Outrun it. That's easy enough. In his small truck, 皮卡, I think it's called, right? In Chinese, right? Small truck called the pickup. Oops. Peekaboo. In his pickup. After this time, he began to think it was more than a chance to accident. A chance to accident. 巧合. How to say? I don't know. All right. So if you don't know, if you can't say it, then 你没有机会 spell it. Right? Now you could 死背, you could do, right? But think about it. That's a long word, right? You use a lot of 脑细胞 just to 背那个字, right? It's not worth it. But if you can remember how to say it, then you can spell it. All right, what's that word? 巧合. You don't know? You know? Great. If you don't know, it's coincidence. Let's try to spell coincidence. I bet you can. Coincidence. Oh man, So you're like you have lots of choices for right? Coincidence. All right. 用猜的 Dance. Like dance, right? Dance. Coincidence. Well, actually, it doesn't. That's wrong, right? Yes, right. It's wrong, but that's pretty close, right? 蛮接近的, right? You got dance. All right, that's not so bad. You got 80% right. Yes, and now all you gotta do is go back and say, okay, how there are some 细节 coincidence,cidence 记起来是 cidence, and then dance is not dance, is dance like accent 这个 den 这里so den, right? Yes, so coincidence, right? So it's really okay if you spell it wrong, but if you spell it 接近 and then go back and 调整 adjust 那些细节。That is the point, okay? All right. So he began to think it was more than coincidence. He thought there was a magical force coming after him. 超自然 force, okay? 超级叫什么 ？Super. 自然叫做什么 ？Natural. So supernatural. Two words put together. Super. I'm sure you don't have any problems with that. Natural. Natural. Well, nature. 好像这样子 right? Yes? Remember, TUR gives you the ter and becomes chur. Natural. Supernatural. Okay, let's say if you don't know this, you just spell supernatural. Chural. Okay, that's not so bad. Okay, 这样也不错啊 right? Yes? If you spell like this and then go back to 调整. Okay, it's not chural, it's T-U-R-E-A-L, right? Okay. That is the 过程 I want you guys to go through. Going through this 过程 will help you write every word in English. In the future, if you do this long enough, you know how to do this, 没有字你不敢拼. You just do it. Okay? All right. So supernatural force coming after him. He started to carry a water bottle at all times. 万一 easy to spell. In case, right? In case. Okay. You have to know how to say it. In case his hair was set on fire again, Roy was scared for his life. Okay? He became, oops. Or you can say was, that's okay, it's the same idea. So he was fearful for or of. Think about it. His life, to Roy, his life is a 正面或负面的东西. It's a positive thing. It's 正面的. Therefore, fearful for his life. What if I changed it? Being killed. How about this? How have I changed it? Now what's the answer? Roy was fearful for being killed or fearful of being killed? Well, think about it. Being killed is a 负面的东西, is a negative, right? So therefore I have to say fearful of being killed. Okay? Right? That works, as far as I know, all the time. Okay, so there might be some 例外, but I have not thought of it. Okay, so it works 100% of the time, as far as I know. Okay, later on, I'm going to ask you to do this also, which is we're going to, I'm not going to give you these words. What I'm going to do is this. I'll show you. You're going to use one of the vocabulary words to 代替 extreme weather, chasing, and run faster than. But you won't have the words to look at. I won't show you the words. However, I will say the words to you. I will say, number one, you have to use the words outrun, storm, and come after. I will say outrun, storm, come after. Now you use those three words, and 看你怎么摆, and then replace the underlined words with the words I told you. Storm, run after, outrun, storm, and come after. And then you have to put it in there. And we'll do it one at a time so everybody can get some practice. Okay? Okay? All right. So that's that. And then also we are also going to talk about 现在完成式 the two kinds. I will give you some practice with that. Okay. Thank you for watching. I will see all of you in class very soon.